It's 3:14 a.m. again. The kind of hour that doesn't belong to night or morning, just limbo. Outside, the world is holding its breath. Inside, I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor, staring at my vision board like it owes me an explanation. You know the one. Cut-out magazine photos of sun-drenched beaches, handwritten affirmations in loopy cursive, a quote about divine timing that now feels like a polite shrug from the universe. Back when I made it, I was full of hope. Now, it just watches me. Silent. Accusing almost. I used to think manifestation was about wanting something badly enough. Like if I visualized hard enough, whispered my desires into the dark with enough conviction, the cosmos would have no choice but to deliver, but nothing came. Or maybe worse, little things came then vanished. Doors cracked open, then slammed shut before I could step through. And I blame myself. Of course I did. Thought I wasn't aligned, not vibrating right. Maybe my chakras were dusty. But last week, over chai that had long gone cold, my nani said, something simple. Beta, जब तुम हर मिनट ट्रैकिंग चेक करते हो, तो डिलीवरी कभी पहुंच ही नहीं सकती. When you keep checking the tracking app, the package never arrives. It hit me like a slow leak, not a thunderclap. What if I wasn't failing? What if I was just interrupting? Think about it. You plant a seed. You water it. You whisper sweet nothings to the soil like some hopeful lunatic. Then, 2 days later, you dig it up to see if roots have formed. Nothing. So you replant it. 2 days after that, dig again. And again, until there's nothing left but disturbed earth and your own frustration. That's not failure. That's halal. Interference. Manifestation, whatever you want to call it, this quiet dance between longing and letting go, isn't a transaction. It's a rhythm. And obsession. Obsession is static. It drowns out the signal. We confuse intensity for faith. We think that because we're thinking about it every second, we're doing the work. But maybe real work happens in the silence between thoughts, in the space where you stop poking the future like it's a bruise. Sabar isn't passive waiting. It's active trust. It's planting the seed and walking away. My phone buzzes, just once. Sharp, sudden, the kind of sound that slices through stillness like glass. I flinch. Heart jumps. For half a second, I let myself believe it's the sign, the email, the call, the shift. But no. Congratulations, you've been selected for a limited time offer on protein powder. I laugh. Or maybe I sigh. Hard to tell anymore. The notification fades. The screen goes black. And in that darkness, my reflection stares back. Tired eyes, messy bun, wearing yesterday's sweatshirt like armor. This is the real moment, isn't it? Not the grand visions, not the Pinterest perfect dream boards, but this. 3:14 a.m., cold floor. Spam messages, and the quiet, gnawing question, what if I just stopped interrupting? Because maybe the thing I'm begging the universe for is already on its way. Maybe it's just waiting for me to stop standing in the driveway screaming at the sky and finally go inside. Make tea, sit down, let the doorbell ring when it's ready. Be Cheney, this restlessness feels like devotion. But sometimes it's just noise, and noise scares away miracles. Outside, a car passes. Headlights sweep across the wall like a searchlight, gone in 3 seconds. I don't move. For the first time in months, I don't reach for my phone. Just sit and breathe. There's a story I heard once about someone who spent 7 years chasing a single dream, a record deal. Or maybe it was a book deal. Honestly, it doesn't matter. The shape of longing is always the same. They rehearsed their pitch in the shower, practiced signatures they'd never use, imagined interviews where they'd say things like, "It all happened so fast." But nothing did. Years passed. Rejections piled up like unread mail. And then, just when they finally stopped, checking their inbox every hour, it came. Not with fanfare, not with lightning. Just a quiet email titled, "Following Up." And you know what they said later? I got it the moment I stopped needing it. That's the paradox, isn't it? We think control is power, that if we just plan enough, visualize enough, want enough, we can bend reality to our will. But wanting too hard is its own kind of blindness. It's like holding a bird in your hands because you love its song. You squeeze tighter to keep it close in, and suddenly there's only silence. And feathers. You didn't mean to crush it. You just forgot. It needs air to sing. Manifestation, again, if we're using that word loosely, as metaphor, not magic, isn't about clutching outcomes. It's about creating space for them to land. And space requires tawazun, balance. Not frantic doing, but steady being. I used to think delays were punishments, cosmic red tape. But what if they're just calibration? Like, imagine asking for a life that demands courage, but you're still flinching at shadows. Or asking for deep love, but your heart's still boarded up like an abandoned house. The universe, or your subconscious, or plain old timing, doesn't say no. It whispers, not yet, grow into this first. Delay isn't denial, it's preparation wearing disguise, and our job isn't to force the door open, it's to become someone who wouldn't break under the weight of what's on the other side. Outside, rain starts, soft at first, then steady, tapping against the window like a stranger asking to be let in. I don't move. My mind's already miles ahead, rehearsing. A future that hasn't even knocked yet. What I'll wear when it arrives, what I'll say. How I'll explain all the nights like this one, where hope felt more like hunger. But the rain keeps falling. Unhurried, unbothered. It doesn't beg the clouds to hurry. It doesn't check the forecast every 5 minutes. It just falls. Trusts. The ground will be there, maybe that's the lesson. We confuse ikhtiyar, control, with care. But real care is release. It's watering the soil and walking away. It's writing the letter and not standing by the mailbox for 3 days. Because here's the truth no one tells you. The thing you're chasing. It might already be circling. You. Waiting for you to stop vibrating with gutun, that suffocating anxiety, and start breathing again. When you're calm, you become magnetic. Not because you're trying, but because you're finally still enough to be found. A siren wails. In the distance. Fades into the hum of the city. A low, constant thrum, like the world's heartbeat. I exhale. For years, I thought manifestation was about making things happen. Now I wonder if it's really about getting out of the way. Letting the current carry. What your hands were never meant to hold. After all, a bird won't land on a fist. Let's be honest. This whole idea sounds suspicious, doesn't it? You're not failing. You're just interrupting the process? Yeah. I rolled my eyes too. At first. Because let's face it, success isn't built on vibes alone. You can't just sit cross-legged in a dark room whispering to the void and expect rent to pay itself. Action matters. Strategy matters. Showing up, even when you don't feel like it, that matters. But here's what no one talks about. Not all action is created equal. There's action. Clear, grounded, purposeful movement. And then there's izterab, that frantic, looping panic, disguised as productivity. Refreshing your inbox every 90 seconds. Rereading old texts for hidden meanings. Rewriting your 5-year plan at 2 a.m. because maybe this version will finally work. That's not effort. That's interference. It's like standing over your laptop hammering F5 on a page that's already loading. You think you're speeding things up, but really? You're just breaking the connection, over and over, and your nervous system knows it. See, your body isn't fooled by your affirmations if your breath is shallow and your jaws clenched tight enough to crack stone. Neuroscience backs this, quietly. When you're in survival mode, heart racing, cortisol spiking, scanning, for threats, you literally cannot perceive opportunity. Your vision narrows. Your mind fixates on lack. You become blind to the very doors you've been begging the universe to open. Peace and panic don't share the same room. And yet, we treat anxiety like devotion, as if worrying harder proves how much we care. But caring isn't measured in sleepless nights or obsessive replays. True care is steady. It's showing up without shaking. It's trusting the seed you planted, even when you can't see the roots. I read somewhere that the human nervous system wasn't built for chronic longing. Our fit rat, our nature, is presence, not projection. We're wired to respond to what's here, not what might be. So when we live perpetually in the future, rehearsing outcomes, catastrophizing delays, we short-circuit our own perception. We miss the quiet yes hiding behind a not right now. This morning I made coffee. Black, 1 sugar. Set it on the counter while I checked my calendar. Just a quick glance, I told myself. But then I started mentally drafting an email I won't send for days. Then I imagined the reply. Then the follow-up. Then the whole chain of events that might unfold. By the time I remembered the coffee, it was cold. Not because I'm lazy, but because my mind was so busy solving a future that hasn't happened. It forgot to inhabit the present where warmth still existed. That's the cost of izterab. You lose the now while chasing a tomorrow that may never come, or worse, arrives while you're still looking the other way. So yes, take action, absolutely. Send the email, make the call, do the work, but ask yourself, is this coming from clarity? Or fear, because one builds, the other blocks, one aligns, the other interrupts, and sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is close the tab, step away from the screen, let the page load in silence. After all, mushahida, real observation, only happens when the mind stops shouting. It's 3:17 a.m. now. The vision board is still there. Same photos, same quotes. But something's different. I'm not glaring at it like it betrayed me. I'm just looking, not with hunger, not with accusation, just with quiet curiosity. Because the question isn't why isn't it here yet anymore, it's who am I becoming while I wait, and that changes everything. All this time I thought manifestation was a transaction. Offer enough belief, receive the prize. But maybe it was never about the prize at all. Maybe it was always about the person who'd be standing there when it finally arrived. Would they be ready? Would they even recognize it? Or would they be too exhausted from years of chasing to notice the door had quietly opened? Every time I panicked, every time I refreshed, reread, rehearsed, I wasn't failing. I was giving myself feedback. That knot in my chest when I checked my bank balance. Feedback. The way my breath catches when I think about, what if it never happens? Feedback. Not proof I'm broken, just proof I'm still tender in that place. Still learning tawakkul, not blind faith, but deep, steady trust in the unfolding. We treat doubt like an enemy. But what if it's just a compass? Pointing to where we haven't yet made peace with ourselves, where we still believe our worth depends on an outcome. And that's the final paradox, isn't it? The very thing you're begging for, the love, the breakthrough, the shift can't land in a heart that's screaming, I need this to be okay. Because neediness creates static. And in that noise, even miracles get lost. But the moment you stop tying your value to the result, space opens. Not because the universe suddenly decides you're worthy, but because you finally do. And in that space, quiet, unclenched, unhurried, the thing you wanted has room to breathe, to arrive, not as a rescue, but as a reflection. The refrigerator hums in the kitchen, steady, unnoticed, like a heartbeat beneath the silence. I used to hate these. Quiet hours felt like abandonment, like the world had moved on without me. But now, this kamoshi feels sacred, because in the stillness I can hear myself growing, not in dramatic leaps, but in subtle shifts, less grasping, more grace, less when will it happen, and more what am I learning right now. This waiting isn't wasted time, it's irtikat, evolution in disguise. The process wasn't interrupted by delay. It is the delay, the friction, the forgetting your coffee moments, the nights you sit in the dark and choose not to refresh. That's where the real work happens. Not in the grand visions, but in the tiny choices to trust yourself even when nothing's visible. So maybe the vision board was never a promise. Maybe it was a mirror, and every time I stared at it with desperation, I saw lack. But tonight, I see someone who's softening, who's learning to hold hope without choking it, who's beginning to understand that becoming is the destination, not the delivery. The clock ticks. Once, twice, no fanfare, no lightning. Just time, moving gently forward. And I wonder, what if the life you're trying to manifest is already here, waiting for you to become the version of yourself who can finally receive it?